Greetings dear viewer. You just went for a play, but it's a mistake. You have to flash out. You're in the endgame now, where any one decision can mean the difference between winning or losing. The enemy can take the dragon now. But then, you see an idea. A TP on the side lane. You take the recall, which allows you to purchase Elixir of Sorcery to maximize your tower damage. You ult on the Pantheon, making way for the back door. You start by hitting the first tower. Boom! 400 magic damage. We kill the Cassiopeia. We start hitting the next tower. You can smell victory already. It's right there. But not every game is a montage. In this video, we are gonna study 4 different endgames, and I'm gonna give you practical tools that you can use to cheat victories away from your opponents. In many of the endgame scenarios, it is necessary to sacrifice a piece in order to win the game. Our first scenario starts here. We have failed a backdoor attempt. Both teams have 3 dragons. The dragon will be spawning in 12 seconds, and we decide to prioritize the Baron. The enemy team gives us the Baron in order to secure a better position on the Hextech Dragon Soul. The biggest mistake you can do in this scenario is try to compete for the dragon. Look at my pings. I pinged 8 times for assistance in the mid lane, because I know it's hopeless for us to try to contest that Drake. While the enemy has gotten the permanent buff of the Hextech Drake, we have secured something more valuable. Mid lane priority. The key concept that I want you guys to understand is that sometimes temporary advantages are much more valuable in the late game than permanent ones. In this case, because we have the Baron buff, getting mid lane priority is the most important thing for us. The last step is execution. We hit the towers, we're gonna flash out of the Misfortune ultimate, dodge the Bard ultimate, and end the game. Why did we win this game? Because we didn't tunnel vision on the soul, and instead seeked mid priority. Our next scenario comes from a 40-minute banger with Elder Dragon spawning in 46 seconds. This time the positions are reversed, as our team is trying to posture up for the dragon, whereas the enemy team has prioritized mid lane control. And now, we are met with a choice. Do we recall? Do we look for a fight where Vayne is pinging? Or do we go for the Drake? In this scenario, recalling is the correct option, because there's still 23 seconds until the dragon. But did you notice this? Viego is behind our Smolder, so I'm gonna immediately press ultimate on the Smolder and force a fight as soon as possible. We start by killing the Singed, then we keep going. I still have my Randuin's Omen. We're gonna slow down the Viego. Next up Malzahar, he has Spell Shield, but it's fine. Now, I have a question for you guys. What was different about this scenario from the previous one? Why did the enemy lose despite having mid lane priority? The answer I will give you in 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1. We were the ones with Baron buff, and therefore we have the empowered recalls, which allows us to move from the dragon to our base much faster. Just 5 minutes before, we had a win probability of 16%, but with some good decision making, fundamentals, and obviously mechanical execution, we managed to take this game from a coin flip to a secure victory. If you're interested in analyzing your own games more quantitatively and knowing exactly what caused you to lose a game, then I think Coachless.gg would be a good fit for you. I've spent the last 2 years building the most useful League of Legends website I could imagine, and today I want to give a free month of premium to the first 1000 people who use the code ENDGAME. Click the link at the top of the description to redeem your free month. We have seen 2 examples of endgames where our team got the Baron and then won the game. But what if things don't go to plan? What if you get caught? What if you have a team fight and you don't hit the Talon and you get hit by the GPE and your ADC dies and you do a desperation ultimate but you get hit by the GP barrel again and you taunt in and you're low HP and everything's going bad. And now your team's got them practically aced and they get Elder Dragon. So the question remains, what do we do in this kind of scenario? I have 2 questions that you need to be asking yourself as your Varus ADC dies in the mid lane. You need to ask yourself first, how can we survive? Okay, that's the first one. And the second, how can we win? First, I'm asking myself, how can we survive? I'm looking at Varus's death timer, 40 seconds. We need to find a way to stay alive until Varus revives, okay? The enemies have Elder Dragon, so we can't fight them directly. But what we can do is do a little bit of distraction, okay? So I'm always moving up a little bit, trying to bait the opponents in, but not actively wanting to fight with them. I get hit by this, but look at my bot lane, okay? How can we win? Maybe Fiora can do some kind of split push technology. But first we need to buy time for our team, okay? I'm gonna taunt on the Talon here because he's alone, so we can kill him directly. Then silence Zonias's. I'm looking on Fiora. I try to E, but I get stunned. I'm flashing out of the cage in order to stay alive. Now I want to deal some damage and take away their focus. Okay? I'm tanking everything, going back instantly to Nexus to revive, then ulting on the Fiora. I shift my focus away from how to survive to how to win. And now I'm starting to hit the Nexus towers. Now suddenly, the enemy is the one on the back foot. Veigar has recalled. Veigar is coming from base right now. I'm gonna E away from the Veigar cage. Keep hitting, keep hitting, keep hitting. Just continue putting the DPS. Don't waste a single auto attack. E through the Veigar to taunt him. And that's a beautiful victory. How can I survive? How can I win? If you found this video useful until now, please click the like button or subscribe to the channel. This lets me know that you want more of this kind of content. Here, I try to ult on the Pyke, but the Jarvan bursts him down, and my ultimate goes on the Lucian, and now we are in a world of hurt, okay? We cannot win this fight, so I immediately disengage. The situation looks very dire, and in the bottom right corner, the surrender vote appears. But I don't look at that. I focus on the situation. How can I live, and how can I stall the enemy team for as long as possible? We have the Ocean Soul in this scenario, so it is possible for me to stall the enemies. I get hit by the Nami bubble, but I instantly shift my focus to the Nami in order to get the Ocean Soul healing. Now, I try to use the Blast Cone to escape, but the Nami predicts it with another bubble. I take a look at the minimap during the downtime. Where are the opponents? Swain is in the top lane, so I cannot walk there, so I must walk away. But then I decide to turn on the opponent. I'm gonna hit the Singed here to get my Ocean Soul healing, then taunt on the Nami. Try to burst the Nami down with an Ignite, but I get CC'd. However, I might have bought enough time so that the enemy cannot end. Pyke has already respawned, and our strongest team member, Brand, is still alive. I keep my focus on what matters, purchasing Force of Nature to make myself as strong as possible for the next team fight. The enemy team starts the Baron, and now Brand tries to stop them, but he's in the middle of 4 people and gets instantly burst down. This is where I thought that the game was over. However, my Lucian and Vayne still keep playing the game, and I keep observing what is happening. Pyke gets an ultimate. Beautiful. Now, I have 10 seconds on my ultimate cooldown. I'm gonna run directly to mid lane. We actually have a man advantage here, because 2 of the opposing teammates died. The Pyke goes for a play on the Nami, manages to hit the hook, and that's where we ult the Pyke in order to get to the Yasuo. I should be able to taunt, but the Yasuo flashes. Now, the next step is pushing the wave in, alright? We have super minions coming, so it is possible for us to end. Remember the last lesson, okay? How can we win? And the way we win here is by not dying to the enemies that try to defend the Nexus towers. I'm gonna immediately tank this so that we get a little bit of damage on the first Nexus tower. I flash away from the Jarvan combo so that I don't get Yasuo ulted under tower while getting focused. Then I shift my focus to the Jarvan, try to get a kill, beautiful. Vayne gets wind walled and keeps taking the tower aggro here. This is very bad. Vayne is very low HP. However, I'm gonna use Vayne as a bait for the Swain. I don't immediately E because I want to bring Swain closer, and then I E when he's in range of the Lucian. Next up, we're gonna focus on getting the Singed away from our carries. The Singed is the most dangerous part of the enemy team. I try to observe Singed movement in order to taunt him, but he goes and I miss. Now, at this point, I'm just gonna hit the wave, but the wave disappears, and I want to trigger my Ocean Soul somehow. I have barely enough time to taunt the Yasuo before the Nami ult interrupts me, and suddenly, we have won the game. The lesson here, refuse to lose, even when your team wants to surrender. Sometimes, that's enough to get the W. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.